Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here tonight to FLW Fully Loaded Wrestling, and we are just going to get right into the action because we have the War Machine, Lucky Carnage, making his way into the arena, into the ring for his match here tonight against the so-called workhorse, Dakota Fall. Now, the past couple of weeks have been a bit turbulent for the War Machine here. 2 weeks ago, he defeated Max Drayton in what was a fairly highly contested matchup here in FLW. But unfortunately, after he won, his celebration was cut a bit short by the man who is making his in-ring FLW debut here tonight, Zeke Salizer. Zeke Salizer interrupted Lucky's. As you can hear, the crowd just not taking a liking to Carnage here tonight. But Zeke Salizer interrupted Carnage's victory last 2 weeks ago. And last week, Zeke made it known why he was here. And tonight we could potentially see Carnage's rebuttal to that. We can already tell that he is not in a good mood. I do unfortunately feel that Dakota Fall is going to have his work cut out for him, but we are just going to have to see. As Carnage is getting ready for his opponent here. Here comes Dakota Fall, making his entrance here this evening. Now, Dakota Fall has had some relative success here in FLW as of late. I do believe he only has one loss, and that is to Alexis Danvers. Other than that, he has been on a well-received run here in FLW. Last week, defeating Dakota Wheeler in a fairly contested matchup. The biggest thing is that you can see that Dakota had studied Wheeler in the form of being able to keep Dakota Wheeler at bay, being able to defeat her at that point. The fans clearly behind Dakota Fall here this evening. And here we go, and Dakota Fall already on the offense here, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a stacked card here for you this evening. Not only do we have this opening match here that has Lucky Carnage, the War Machine Lucky Carnage, taking on Dakota Fall, but we also have here this evening a semi-final match for the FLW Women's World Championship, and that is going to be Angelina Renee taking on Riku Matua. And not only that, we have our gauntlet match set for next week. We have Jessica Harper, Jackie Bryant as the War Machine is taking advantage of Dakota Fall here. We also have Megan Suzuki and Amber Young in that match as well. And there are going to be two teams here tonight that are going to go at it in a tag team match ahead of that gauntlet match. It is going to be Jessica Harper and Megan Suzuki taking on Jackie Bryant and Amber Young in a showcase tag team match. And not only that, we have the return of Piper Salizer, the in-ring action, taking on Mad Dog Salmons here tonight in our main event of the evening. We have all that and more coming up here tonight as KARNAGE and Dakota locking up, and Dakota just pushing KARNAGE away and walking right back up. And Dakota seeming to have found the advantage against KARNAGE here. And just wrenching the arm there of the War Machine. But KARNAGE switching it up on Dakota Fall here. And Dakota going to the middle rope. What could he have in mind here? And a huge moonsault, but it does not land. KARNAGE moves out of the way. And KARNAGE went for a release German, but Dakota landed on his feet and hit a swanton, a standing swanton. And Dakota now, what's he thinking? And just using innovative offense against the ropes to get the advantage over KARNAGE here today. And went for that shooting star press, but no one was home. And KARNAGE trying to take him out with that wicked clothesline, but didn't get all of it. Now Dakota with that huge DDT with his legs. And the BME right there, ladies and gentlemen. Didn't get all that pin, and the step up Enziguri takes down the War Machine here today, ladies and gentlemen. And a huge meteor from the top rope from Dakota Fall. Like I said, Dakota Fall has found at least a decent amount of success here in FLW. With a huge German suplex here, ladies and gentlemen, from the War Machine. But Dakota Fall is right back on his feet with the Spanish fly. A Spanish fly to the War Machine right here, ladies and gentlemen. And that springboard back elbow taking down the War Machine here. You gotta wonder if Dakota is able to defeat the War Machine here, ladies and gentlemen. We could be seeing a top contender for the FLW World Heavyweight Championship when it does get announced. And the double stomps from Dakota Fall to KARNAGE here, ladies and gentlemen. And right back down face first into the mat. And went for that, looked like a Phoenix splash, but no one home. KARNAGE with the roll up, and not even Lucky in trouble here. But now reversing it into a landslide pin. Not even a one. KARNAGE with a huge Samoan drop to Dakota Fall here this evening, ladies and gentlemen. And that 7-star lariat trying to put down Dakota Fall. One. The referee is going to get fired here, ladies and gentlemen. That was a really slow count. When is the manager going to heed my words about this? And Dakota trying to catch some breath. And round we go. Where it stops, nobody knows. As Dakota Fall hits the tilt-a-whirl on KARNAGE here and doing a bit of showboating and hits that huge cave-in, ladies and gentlemen. And Dakota, is he looking for it? That double rotation moonsault, that's what happened to defeat Dakota Wheeler last week, but it does not defeat KARNAGE, not here, not right now. Dakota having KARNAGE on the ropes here, on the back heels here. But KARNAGE now up and over with a huge German suplex, ladies and gentlemen. You can tell KARNAGE is getting angrier and angrier by the second that Dakota Fall getting hit with that Samoan drop from KARNAGE. One, and just a 1 count from the pinfall there. But that Dakota Fall is evading most of his attacks and getting most of his own offense in. But KARNAGE, like I said, not too happy with the state of FLW the past couple of days when it concerns himself and Zeke Salizer. And a huge deadlift chokeslam from KARNAGE being delivered, pretty much just proving my point there. And a diving double stomp. That has to hurt for Dakota. 1, 2, and Dakota kicks out at 2. And Dakota now fighting back. Hitting the devil's kiss on KARNAGE here. Dakota now went for that springboard drop kick that we've seen hit so many times, but KARNAGE just got out of the way there. What's KARNAGE looking for? Is he looking for it? Is he looking for it? And he went for that penalty kick. And that went for that wicked clothesline again, but seemed to have tripped up there, throwing Dakota out of the ropes there. But Dakota fighting his way back with that springboard dropkick that lands this time. And Dakota with a knee to the side of the head of KARNAGE. Is he going for it again? Is he looking for the superstar press and gets it? 1, 2, and KARNAGE kicks out at 2. If you're Dakota Fall, you gotta be wondering what the hell is it gonna take to keep KARNAGE down? What's it gonna take to keep the War Machine down? And now both of them heading to the outside of the ring here. Dakota throwing KARNAGE back in. The referee not even getting to a count of 2. They weren't even out there for that one. And going for that double rolling leg drop. And now Dakota went for a basement drop kick there. But KARNAGE moved out of the way and is now taking advantage of the fact. Dakota now again, caught in the clutches of KARNAGE, but fighting out of it. Dakota now hitting that basement drop kick and getting KARNAGE down. And Dakota calling KARNAGE up to his feet here. And going for a roll through powerbomb. Thought he was going for a pin, but he rolled through with the powerbomb. 1, 2, and KARNAGE kicks out at 2. And Dakota now something up his sleeve here. And going for the Black Widow, the modified octopus stretch here. Could this be it for KARNAGE? Is he going to tap out? Is he going to tap out? And for some reason, Dakota lets the submission go. And once again, going for that springboard dropkick, and it lands flush. Going for the pin. 1, 2, and KARNAGE once again kicks out at 2. And Dakota, what's he got in mind here? Having KARNAGE up on the top rope with the avalanche Spanish fly to KARNAGE. Huge avalanche fly. 1, 2, and oh my god. KARNAGE has kicked out once again. Dakota is throwing all of his arsenal at KARNAGE here. And that double rotation moonsault. This has got to be it. This has got to be it. 1, 2. Oh my, KARNAGE has kicked out once again. Dakota trying to keep the War Machine down here. 1, 2. Are you kidding me? Another kick out? KARNAGE has taken so much punishment within the last few minutes that he should have. It's hard to see how he's able to kick out. With that brainbuster. 1, 2, and Dakota kicks out at 2. What is this man made of? What is the War Machine made of here tonight, ladies and gentlemen? First we had the avalanche Spanish fly, then we had the double rotation moonsault, and then the springboard moonsault. This man is relentless. And Dakota now trying to keep himself in the match, going for the cover. 1, 2, and KARNAGE once again kicking out at 2. The War Machine is not going to lay down and take anything lightly. Dakota calling him up to his feet with that top rope meteora. And once again, going for that springboard drop kick. Dakota. Oh, KARNAGE fighting his way out of that. And KARNAGE going for the roll up here. 1. And KARNAGE taking the advantage, well, seemingly, with that Hurricanrana from Dakota Fall, swinging things back into his favor here. And KARNAGE now, what you're looking for here, with a huge power slam to Dakota Fall here. And KARNAGE just kind of mocking at this point. With Dakota trying to fight his way back into this match once again with the Falcon Arrow to the War Machine, Lucky KARNAGE here. And went for a dropkick, but KARNAGE had it scouted. Is KARNAGE looking for it here? With a wicked intent. 1, 2. And Dakota not going quietly into that good night. What's KARNAGE looking for here? Huge drop kick. And what's he looking for here? That huge big boot. And what's KARNAGE? I wonder what KARNAGE is looking for here. And that huge rack attack. 1, 2, And Dakota once again kicking out at 2. Oh, Carnage, not like this. Come on. 2. And, oh my goodness, this is really close. Oh. And the inverted Alabama slam with the camel clutch. And Dakota has to tap out. Dakota has to tap out. A very hard-fought match here for Dakota Fall, but unfortunately it was just not enough to keep the War Machine Lucky Carnage down. Here's your winner, ladies and gentlemen, Lucky Carnage, here victorious this evening. What an excellent performance by Dakota Fall. But it looks like he's grabbing a mic here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see what the War Machine has to say.
You know, FLW, I'm a man of many talents and absolute many words, but there's something I need to get off my chest and from my mind. I'm talking to you, Zeke Salizer. You want to come in to Fully Loaded Wrestling and act like you're one fucking big shot. You want to come in here and ruin my dominant triumph, and you want to come in pretending that you are highly acquired. Well, consider this a warning to you, Zeke Salizer. If you try to step on my toes again, and I'll rip your fucking head off and throw you back out of Fully Loaded Wrestling like the absolute piece of shit you are. And if you don't like it, let's throw hands right here, right fucking now. And if not, go fuck yourself, because I am Carnage and always prepare for war, motherfucker.
Strong words here just a few minutes ago from the War Machine Lucky Carnage after his huge victory over Dakota Fall here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. But first, we have our first semifinal match in the Women's World Championship Tournament, which sees Angelina Renee take on Riku Matua. Angelina Renee has very well made the claim for the top spot in the women's division here. As in the women's division, she is currently undefeated in FLW here, ladies and gentlemen. And tonight, her opponent is Riku Matua. Now, Riku has not seen as much success as Angelina has, but she did manage to move on in the tournament after taking out her original opponent in Bree George and being given the replacement opponent of Jackie Bryant. Now, Jackie Bryant almost nearly had the victory, but Riku Matua was able to walk away with the victory to make it to the semifinals here tonight. But if Angelina Renee has her way here, she will make short work of Riku Matua, and knowing how talented and how formidable Angelina Renee is she's probably not even scared of Riku Matua. So we'll just have to see whose favor this swings in. And here comes her opponent here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, Riku Matua. Like I mentioned earlier, Riku unfortunately had a less than stellar debut match against Justin Payne. Unfortunately, Riku was on the receiving end of a changed Justin Payne as he was trying to turn over a new leaf. He was trying to prove to himself that he was more than just a skinny, emo person. And the night that he decided to make that change was unfortunately the night that Riku Matua debuted and was on that receiving end. But the following week, she attacked Bree George, who was going to be her opponent last week in the tournament, but she had gotten injured and had to be replaced by Jackie Bryant. And as I said earlier, Jackie Bryant nearly won over Riku Matua, but Riku Matua at the end of the match was the one who was standing tall over Jackie Bryant. And here we go with the semifinal match, and Riku Matua already on the offense, determined to put Angelina Renee down to advance to the finals of this tournament. And Angelina Renee, once again, starting to show the FLW crowd here that she's the one who's at the top of the division and that they shouldn't forget it as she hits that spinning roundhouse kick. And Riku, her big mistake is the mistake she needs to avoid is underestimating Angelina Renee. Several people have underestimated Angelina Renee and have paid dearly for it. As she hits a big corner splash, but Angelina Renee fights out. And Angelina Renee now, with that huge face to the knee. One. And Riku already kicking out. Like I said, it is a big mistake to underestimate Angelina Renee. She might seem like all talk, but that currently may be a facade because anytime she talks, she can back it up. She has proven it with Maya Lynx. She has proven it with several other people here in FLW. And she has even proven it with Samantha Salizer, who is one hell of a competitor in her own right as well. One, two, and Riku Matua kicks out. And the crowd thoroughly into this match here. Riku Matua needs to start taking this seriously, because if she doesn't start taking it seriously, she's going to regret underestimating Angelina Renee. And Riku kicks that out too. Something needs to change for Riku here. And a huge double axe handle from Angelina Renee knocks Riku down to size. And goes for that springboard crossbody, but no one home. And a huge Samoan drop to Angelina Renee here. One, Angelina Renee kicking out, and Riku not happy about that. And going for that taunting death grip, that's what put away Jackie Bryant last week. But Angelina Renee already having fought out of it. And a huge corners clothesline. And what's Angelina thinking there? A huge shoulder breaker here from Angelina Renee. And a huge spinning roundhouse kick from Angelina Renee. One. And only a 1 count for Riku Matua there. Calling her up to her feet there. And a huge punch. And oh, Riku. And huge Samoan drop to Angelina Renee. It looks like things are finally swinging back into Riku's favor. And a huge chop. And Riku has busted open Angelina Renee. And went for the big body splash, but Angelina Renee had different plans, but Riku up and over Angelina Renee. What's Riku thinking here? Huge elbow drop to the back of Angelina Renee. And once again, that Samoan spike. 1, 2, and Angelina Renee kicks out at 2. Riku finally getting into this match. And went for that headbutt and gets all of it. Angelina Renee now caught in that was caught in the grip of Riku, but gets met with a DDT from Angelina Renee and gets busted open. Turnabout's fair play, and got that heavy knee strike in. Angelina Renee trying to figure out what to do, but that extra moment could have cost her as Angelina Renee starts fighting out of her grip here with that huge enziguri. Angelina Renee now looking for something, but Riku gets the pin and a kick out. And this has been a highly contested matchup. And a huge finisher from there, the codebreaker, 2, 3, and Angelina Renee defeats Riku Matua in a very narrow match, if I do say so myself. But Angelina Renee defeats Riku Matua in order to move on in the tournament to the finals. Her opponent, Angelina Renee's opponent for the Women's World Championship, is going to be decided next week as the winner of next week's gauntlet and Maya Lynx go head-to-head in next week's main event. It was a good fight from Riku Matua, but unfortunately Angelina Renee once again being a step ahead of her opponent. But pulling that spinning codebreaker out of nowhere. Angelina Renee has moved on into the Women's World Championship tournament. She will find out her opponent next week. Congratulations to Angelina Renee. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to FLW Fully Loaded Wrestling. As we get started with a new debut here as well, we have Piper Goodish making her FLW debut here against Max Drayton. For me here at the desk, there's not a lot that I do truly know about Piper Goodish, but that she is really talented and willing to go up against pretty much anybody. And her opponent here tonight is Max Drayton, the Deathmatch Prince, so she is definitely going to have her work cut out for her here this evening. We get ready for the entrance of Max Drayton here. And here he comes, the Deathmatch Prince. And the crowd seemed to be split between both Max Drayton and Piper Goodish here this evening. If what I'm hearing is true of Piper Goodish and what I know of is true of Max Drayton, this is going to be an excellent match here this evening. Max Drayton, having found some form of success here, he hasn't had too many losses, but he also hasn't picked up too many wins. He's in the middle ground here, and he's definitely looking to pick that up. As the crowd cheering on Max Drayton, definitely a fan favorite here in FLW. Well, here we have Piper Goodish. We have Max Drayton across from her. Let's get this started. And Max Drayton already on the offensive here. Piper trying to get back into it, but Max already switching it back into his favor. And Piper throwing him into the corner. Hitting that huge corner lariat there. Piper now starting to take the advantage here. These two going back and forth here. And Piper just taking the advantage in this match against Max Drayton at this point. And Max Drayton putting his foot up to stop Piper Goodish. And Piper now taking the fight back to Max. And Piper now with that huge driver. Max kicks out at one. And once again, slammed right down into the mat. And Max kicks out again at two. huge suplex from Piper Goodish to Max Drayton there. And Piper now, what's she thinking here? Huge forearm from the top rope there. And Max trying to fight back into it, but Piper has other plans with the knee to the back of his head. 1, 2, and Max kicks out at 2. Over and under, and then with huge lariat. That basement lariat, not really finding the mark, but Max Drayton now taking advantage of the missed lariat. And a huge back body drop here. And the Kamigoye from Max Drayton lands flush on Piper Goodish. Piper Goodish kicking out at 2 here. And a huge, went for the drop kick, but got reversed into a power bomb by Piper Goodish there, as Piper Goodish goes to the top rope. Went for the crossbody, but Piper hitting no one, hitting nothing but air. And Max now taking advantage. Piper getting herself back into the match. Once again, hitting that devastating driver. And calling Max back up to his feet. What's she looking for? And that huge driver. 1, 2, and Max kicks out at 2. Now the two are going to go blow for blow here. Who's going to get the advantage here? I'm really curious as to who's going to get the advantage. And the two are now clubbing away at each other. And Piper gets the advantage. One more time. Going for that psycho trap. 1, 2, 3. And Piper Goodish picks up the victory here this evening in her debut. A very highly contested matchup that could have gone either way. Very impressive performance here from both competitors here this evening as we run through the replays here. And Piper Goodish, just from her performance here tonight, she may very well have a bright future here in FLW. Unfortunately, Max Drayton on the receiving end of a second loss in a row here. Hyper Goodish celebrating here. Congratulations to your debut victory here tonight, Miss Goodish. As the fans are celebrating with her this evening. I'm sorry, what? Wade Ilson? What's Ilson doing here? With a huge power bomb. Well, Ilson issued a warning to the locker room last week. Now he's going after Max Drayton, it seems. Just slamming him into the barricade. Now just mocking him. He gave the warning to the FLW roster last week. And I'm hanging off the edge of this 7-foot ledge, hanging with nowhere to go, and my partner's just telling me to jump. For all I know, he was going to catch me in a German suplex.
A German suplex from that height would have been entertaining to watch.
I mean, maybe, but it would have been hell on my back. Sorry again for, well, not winning. I went to bat for you, for both you and your sister, and fell on my ass pretty much.
It's okay, truly. I just appreciate you doing it. It meant a lot.
I couldn't stand by and just watch her think she ran the place. I also think I don't like seeing you get hurt, ironic as that is.
Listen, me and my sister can handle Becca. She may have gotten lucky with that attack 2 weeks ago, but it won't happen again. Besides, I don't want to see you get hurt either. That handsome face needs protected.
I appreciate that a lot. I know you'll get the title. You were robbed of your spot. Any idea when you'll be back in the ring?
Not sure. They haven't cleared me yet. I'm just happy to see my sister is going to wrestle tonight. She deserves a spotlight.
She does. I know I wouldn't want to be on her bad side.
Good, because you'll have to deal with her if you ever hurt me.
I'm not going to do that. I promise.
Speaking of my sister, I suppose I should go find.
Well, if it isn't the man I beat and the woman I beat down. You two are like Gene and Scott. Hell, he'll probably leave you for the next hot chick that comes along to play with his emotions.
Okay, sis. I see you. About time you two hooked.
Oh, shut up.
Hey, I'm just saying what I'm seeing here. I'm happy for you. Hey Dakota, about last week, could you at least make it any less painfully obvious that you were trying to recreate my victory over Dakota? Because it looked like a pathetic attempt to recreate a trick I once did.
What? I'm just fine, Lexi. See, unlike you, I don't have to desperately cling on to some brag about how I defeated a guy and then bring it up to my hero like it's the greatest achievement ever. I'm not a lost, sick dog. But it's okay. It's fine, Lexi. I love my fans. So I'll let you have your brag. I'm going to continue on doing what I do, being one of the best women wrestlers here in FLW, and you can continue, I don't know, figuring out the will they, won't they with Samantha or whatever Becca, your cousin, wants to do. Okay? Okay.
Don't get ahead of yourself, Dakota. Hero, please. Yeah, I like you and all. But don't make the mistake that I can't kick your ass. Because I will do it right here and right now.
Hey, no. She isn't worth it. She's just trying to get in your head. Don't let her.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to FLW here. We just saw a huge statement made by Wade Ilson not too long ago, and not to mention the confrontation between Piper Salizer, who has a match later on here tonight, against Mad Dog Salmons, who Piper attacked Becca Bloor after she interrupted Adam Fowler and Samantha Salizer talking, which seems there's something brewing there between the two of them. And not only that, we had a confrontation, a standoff between Dakota Wheeler and Alexis Danvers. So much to unpack here, ladies and gentlemen, but we also have a brand new debut here as well in Damian Cross. Not a whole lot is known about Damian Cross, only that he is attached to the hip with Angelina Renee, who won her semifinal match for the Women's World Championship tournament here earlier this evening against Riku Matua. You gotta be wondering, is Damian going to be able to replicate victory here this evening? Or will his opponent here this evening have other ideas? And his opponent is none other than the head of the Salizer family, Zeke Salizer. Now, Zeke Salizer, he is no stranger to going to war. He has done so several times in his career in pro wrestling. But tonight is the first night we actually see him in action here in FLW. And as we see Zeke Salizer beginning to make his entrance here this evening, we want to thank everyone who is currently watching here this evening, as well as the people who are watching at home and continue to support us. Earlier this evening, the War Machine KARNAGE, after he defeated Dakota Fall, called out Zeke Salizer for spoiling his victory, his main event victory 2 weeks ago when Zeke Salizer interrupted KARNAGE. So you have to wonder if one of the two are going to strike the other here soon. As we get set, here we have Damian Cross in one corner and Zeke Salizer in the other. And here we go. And Damian Cross already going for the pin. Only getting out one. Damian trying to immediately go on the offensive here. And Zeke not necessarily wanting that to happen. Damian showing that he's got some sort of fight in him. This is my first time seeing Damian in action in general. So it will be nice to see what he has in store for the FLW locker room and universe. Zeke pulls him up in a side headlock. And Damian fighting out of it, tripping him up. Zeke Salizer showing Damian Cross that he is not someone to be underestimated. Now Zeke, having called him up to his feet, and now immediately locking back up with him. And the referee doing her job, separating the two. And now Zeke once again locking up with Damian from behind, I should say. And Damian flipping him over, getting him onto the ground with a unique side headlock. And wrenching the head of Zeke Salizer does Damian Cross. And Zeke escaping that side headlock. What's Zeke looking for here? There it was. Damian had it scouted. Chopping him at the knee. And went for a springboard forearm, but Zeke was able to move out of the way. What's Damian got in mind? A huge move there. And Damian having the advantage here now. And Zeke just not giving a damn about Damian Cross here. Now the two gonna go blow for blow. These two are just not letting up on each other. Neither really got the advantage there, but Damian coming out of that quicker with a huge powerbomb backstabber. One, and a kick out at one from Zeke Salizer there. And Damian bumping into the ref with a huge pop-up powerbomb from Zeke Salizer there. 1, 2, and Damian kicks out at 2. Damian fighting out from Zeke's grip. Zeke with that Salizer Claymore there. 1, 2, and Damian kicks out at 2. And Zeke pumping himself up, running and hitting that huge knee to the corner. Huge body splash, last frog splash from the top rope. What's Zeke looking for here? And a huge senton. What's Zeke looking for here? And the snake eyes on the top turnbuckle. Damien with that huge drop kick. And Damien putting up a really good fight up against Zeke Salizer here. And Zeke looking to end it here, it seems. And that huge driver right on his neck. 1, 2, 3, and Zeke Salizer gets the win here this evening in his debut match. An impressive showing from Damian Cross, but unfortunately it just was not enough to put away Zeke Salizer here this evening. It's a huge statement to the FLW roster, and also it's a huge statement to the War Machine KARNAGE as well. Once again, a huge congratulations to Zeke Salizer here in his debut this evening. We just gotta wonder what's in store for both of these men after this spectacular match here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Fully Loaded Wrestling here tonight. We have had a very action-packed night here tonight, and it's just going to get even better because we have, making his way to the ring, Bo Turner. Bo Turner made his return to FLW 2 weeks ago when he attacked John Baker after his match with Bubba Perkins. And last week made his return to the ring in a successful bout. And tonight, Bo Turner has a tall task ahead of him when he takes on Kyle Young here tonight. Neither of these men are anything to be scoffed at. Both of these men have been dominant in their own rights. Bo Turner making his way into the ring, much to the chagrin of the crowd. Having sporting this newer side of him that's returned. Last week his win was a dominant one, but if he's looking for anything dominant tonight, he's going to have a hard time looking for it, because the man making his entrance right now, Kyle Young, is not anyone's chew toy. He's not anyone's plaything. He has been around for too long, and he is a veteran of the business. So I doubt very heavily that Bo Turner is going to make light work of Kyle Young. And Kyle Young, having made his return to FLW just a few weeks ago, albeit in a losing effort against Bubba Perkins, it was still a fantastic match. And anytime Kyle Young is in the ring, he makes sure that the fans get what they paid for. And here tonight, Kyle Young is looking to rectify his loss against Bubba Perkins a couple weeks ago, and hopefully gets to put down Bo Turner in his own right. That would feel really vindicating for Kyle Young here this evening if he is able to do so. Here we have Bo Turner, and we have Kyle Young on the other corner. Here we go, here's the bell. And Bo Turner immediately going for that spinning back elbow, but Kyle Young taking advantage of the miss, but Bo Turner back on his feet with a huge lariat to Kyle Young there, immediately going for the pin. One. And not even getting a... Well, it didn't look like he got a two, but... Oh, come on, Rev, his feet were on the ropes. Got to do a better job at it. And Kyle Young with a leg lock to Bo Turner. And Bo Turner and Kyle Young locking up here tonight. Bo Turner pushing Kyle to the ropes. Ref pushing, pulling the two away from each other, and locking right back up. And once again, Bo Turner pushing Kyle to the corner. And the ref once again doing her job in breaking the two apart. One more time, locking up. Is it going to be a difference this time? Yep, this time Kyle Young is the one to push Bo Turner back. The referee. Oh, and Bo Turner with the cheap shot. And an Irish hook towards the ropes. And Bo Turner just shots to the kidney, shots to the back with the backstabber while Kyle Young was trapped in the ropes. And just a huge elbow drop. Bo Turner taking huge advantage of the match here this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to take some time to go over what we have witnessed here this evening. As Bo goes for the cover, 1, 2, and Kyle kicks out at 2. It has been such a full evening tonight, ladies and gentlemen. To open us off, to start us off, we had the War Machine Lucky KARNAGE take on and defeat the workhorse Dakota Fall. And after the match was finished, KARNAGE took some time to call out Salizer, who interrupted him just a couple of weeks ago, sending a warning to both him and the FLW roster not to get in his way. Following that up, we had our first semifinal match in the Women's World Championship Tournament that saw Angelina Renee take on Riku Matua. And while the match was very heavy-hitted, very back and forth, Angelina Renee was the one that was able to get the victory and move on to the finals to actually compete for the Women's World Championship against whoever wins the next semifinal match next week, as the ref takes her time getting to the pin. Following that up, we had Piper Goodish take on Max Drayton, debuting against Max Drayton as we go into pillar 2, and Kyle Young kicks out at 2. Now, following that, like I said, we had Piper Goodish debuting and taking on Max Drayton, and Piper Goodish was able to walk away with the victory. It could have gone any which way. But after the match, we saw Wade Ilson return and attack both Piper Goodish and Max Drayton. We'll have to wait and see what the fallout of that attack will be. And then not only that, but we saw Piper Salizer return and attack Becca Bloor backstage before Alexis Danvers confronted Dakota Wheeler backstage in a very heated confrontation. And a huge cutter from Bo Turner to Kyle Young there. And then our previous match, we saw a very game Damian Cross take on Zeke Salizer in Zeke Salazar's debut FLW match. And Zeke Salazar took on the W from Damian Cross as we get a huge shooting star splash from Bo Turner here this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, the action doesn't stop here this evening. It only gets even better, as next we have a tag team match with the 4 competitors of next week's gauntlet match to decide who faces Maya Lynch in the semifinals of the FLW Women's World Championship Tournament. It will be Jessica Harper and Megan Suzuki taking on Jackie Bryant and Amber Young, who will be able to work together and who will be taking home the much needed momentum into next week's gauntlet match, as Kyle Young drops Bo Turner and makes him bleed. And not only that, our main event is Piper Salizer taking on Mad Dog Salmons. And Piper Salizer, she is angry. We saw that earlier here this evening. When she attacked Becca Bloor. So Mad Dog Salmons, he's going to need to be ready for a fight with a capital F. Fighting out of the corner there and hitting a huge discus lariat. And only getting a 2 count from that lariat. And once again, going for the cover. 1, 2... and Kyle kicks out at 2. Bo Turner cannot believe it. This has been an excellent match here this evening, ladies and gentlemen. And Bo Turner, what's he? Oh, come on. Come on. Taking off the top turnbuckle. Ref going to charge it. It's John Baker. John Baker's return. And he's hit Vertebraker. And before the ref can see him, John Baker gets out of dodge. And Kyle Young now. Kyle Young with that huge driver to Bo Turner. And goes for the pin. 1, 2, 3. And Kyle Young picks up the victory here this evening, ladies and gentlemen. Bo Turner's past came to haunt him here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, as John Baker returned and cost him the match against Kyle Young. A very deserved victory here for Kyle Young here, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations here, Kyle Young. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to FLW, and we are finally on to our co-main event of the evening. We have a very fully loaded tag team match here tonight. We have Jessica Harper teaming up with Megan Suzuki, taking on Amber Young, who is teaming with Jackie Bryant here this evening. These 4 women who are in a tag team match will go on next week to face off in a gauntlet match to decide who will face Maya Lynx later on that evening and go on to face Angelina Renee for the Women's World title at our yet-to-be-named first pay-per-view. These women have all shown stellar performances in the ring, and it's just going to get better and better. Like Jessica Harper here went up against John Baker in her debut and defeated John Baker as well. Unfortunately, she lost to Samantha Salizer, which means she has to compete in this gauntlet match instead of just being handed the spot because of her loss and for Samantha being taken out. And this woman right here, Megan Suzuki, returned not too long ago, last week actually, to take on Maya Lynx in her open challenge match, which was also a tournament match. Maya Lynx was in trouble for most of the match. We all thought Megan Suzuki had it. However, Maya Lynx was able to get the victory over Megan Suzuki, which is how she ended up in the gauntlet match next week. And here we have, making her entrance here, the merciless assassin, Amber Young. Now, Amber Young is not someone to be scoffed at. She knows how to break a person's body in more ways than 10. And Amber Young, having fallen victim to Angelina Renee, in the first tournament match. And now she teams with Jackie Bryant ahead of the gauntlet match here this evening. And now Amber Young, I feel like she's going to have a very huge chip on her shoulder trying to get a victory back at some point. And I am being informed here, ladies and gentlemen, that the gauntlet match next week, whoever loses or wins, it will not count towards the win-loss record here in the FLW. Once again, it will not count towards any sort of win-loss record here in the FLW, no matter who wins or who loses and gets eliminated in the gauntlet match next week. And Jackie Bryant now making her debut, not her debut, but her second appearance here in FLW. Last week, she made her debut against Riku Matua after Riku Matua brutally attacked Bree George ahead of their tournament match. And Jackie Bryant stepped up to the plate to take on Riku Matua to try and gain entry, to gain advancement in the Women's World Title Tournament. So which of these two teams are going to have better chemistry with each other? We'll just have to wait and see. And here's the bell. And Amber Young already on the offensive here with that knee strike to the head. And Jessica Harper reversing whatever Amber had in mind into a clothesline. And a springboard enziguri lands flush on Jessica Harper from Amber Young. And a huge Kiwani kicks to Jessica Harper, along with that suplex from Amber Young. Amber Young with a huge double stomp to a standing Jessica Harper. Megan Suzuki getting in the ring to break up the pin there. Like I said, Amber Young is not someone you want to underestimate. She knows how to break a person's body in more ways than 10, like I said earlier. And that might even be putting it lightly. She trains 7 days out of the week. She does not give herself a break, and that makes her one of the most dangerous women in this match right now. And Megan Suzuki went for that huge springboard moonsault, but didn't get quite far enough to get to Amber Young there. Amber reversing with an Irish whip towards the corner. And now pulling down with a super kick to Megan Suzuki there. And now a Pele kick to Megan Suzuki, and Amber Young is taking control back of the match in favor of her team. But she's going to need to remember she does have a tag team partner. She does have a tag team partner in Jackie Bryant. At some point she is going to need to tag out and tag Jackie in, even if she might want to do this by herself. And Megan Suzuki with that huge springboard moonsault. What's Megan thinking here? Is she going for that cyclone kick? Oh no, basement dropkick, but Amber Young able to get out of the way there with the basement dropkick of her own. And here we go, we have Jackie Bryant now being tagged in by Amber Young. Two of the quickest competitors here in FLW, Jackie Bryant and Megan Suzuki, going at it. A lot of fans have been clamoring to see this over the past week. And Megan Suzuki able to start pulling the match back into her team's favor, but Jackie Bryant reverses with an Irish whip to the corner. What's Jackie Bryant thinking here? With a bunch of strikes to Megan Suzuki here in the corner. And now Jackie Bryant tossing Megan Suzuki to the corner and tagging in Amber Young here. The springboard drop kick assisted flatliner and a hot tag to Jessica Harper, but Amber Young saw it coming and immediately hit a super kick towards Jessica Harper. And a huge elbow to the side of the head to Jessica Harper. Irish hooks to the ropes. And a huge running knee. 1, 2, and Megan is able to break up the pin before it gets too far. Now Amber going for that knee strike and gets it all the way. 1, 2, and Jessica Harper kicks out at 2. You can hear the crowd chanting tag team wrestling here, ladies and gentlemen. And a huge uppercut to Amber Young in the corner, and Jessica now choking her out here in the corner this evening. But Jessica has to be careful if she stands in the opponent's corner for too long. Jackie Bryant might try to sabotage her. Like so. And now went up and under. And now Jessica Harper tagged in once again. Both of these teams are making time to tag in frequently. And with the base stomp towards Jackie Bryant here. And like I said, Jessica Harper taking too much time in the opponent's corner, and Amber Young trying to sabotage whatever Jessica has in mind. And Jackie Bryant tried to take advantage. Jessica said no way, but Jackie Bryant pulling the advantage once again. And Irish whip towards Jessica's corner. And Jessica up and over and chop block to the back of the knee and tags in Megan Suzuki. And Jackie Bryant went for that huge drop kick to Megan Suzuki. But Megan Suzuki going for that tornado kick to Jackie Bryant, and it lands flush. And Megan Suzuki going up to the top rope here with a huge meteora. Huge meteora to Jackie Bryant. And went for a soccer ball kick, but Jackie Bryant moving out of the way, saving her own mindset there. And now just having Megan Suzuki trapped in the corner. And a coast-to-coast drop kick to Megan Suzuki. Going for the pin. 1, 2, and Megan Suzuki kicks out at 2. You saw Jessica Harper getting into the ring. Gotta wonder if she was probably going to be a bit too late. A second too late. But Amber Young tagged in now from Jackie Bryant. And now being slammed into the turnbuckle. What's Megan thinking here? Amber staying out of the grip of Megan Suzuki and punishing her for it. And now a back suplex, And once again, Amber tagging out, making full use of tag team rules here. What's Jackie thinking here? What's Jackie thinking here? Went for that senton, but no one was home. And Megan taking full advantage of the quick minute she had. And now Jessica Harper being tagged in. One, two, oh, not even a two. It was just a one. Going to need to do more damage to either Jackie Bryant or Amber Young in order to get that pinfall victory. And Jessica Harper, what's she looking for? Well, it was scouted by Jackie Bryant, and a huge head scissor from Jackie Bryant flattens Jessica Harper. And now Jessica Harper fighting her way back into this match here. Irish up to the corner, and a huge spear from Jackie Bryant, followed up by another one. And Jessica not too happy about that, kicking the back of Jackie Bryant. And the treble driver. 1, 2, and 3. Amber Young was a second too late to try and get that breakup. But your winners here this evening are Megan Suzuki and Jessica Harper. Jessica Harper getting the pin over Jackie Bryant. Jessica and Megan Suzuki showed great teamwork here this evening, and Amber Young showing better teamwork with Jackie Bryant than what I really expected. But unfortunately, at the end of the match, Amber Young was too slow to get into the ring to break up the pin, and Jessica Harper just picking up the victory for her team with the treble driver. As we see here, Jackie once again putting on a really great performance. One of my personal matches I would love to see in the future is Megan Suzuki and Jackie Bryant, and that could very well happen next week. 1, 2, and in the replay, once again showing that Amber Young was too slow to get to the breakup. Ladies and gentlemen, all 4 of these women are going to be at odds next week. Who's going to take on Maya Lynx in the semifinals next week? We're just going to have to wait and see. Stay tuned for our main event. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Fully Loaded Wrestling, and it is time for our main event of the evening. We have Mad Dog Salmons taking on Piper Salizer here this evening. Piper Salizer, who we saw earlier attack Becca Bloor as revenge for a couple weeks ago, trying to take both her and her sister out of the equation. Now, Mad Dog Salmons, he is currently 1-1 here in FLW. Last week, unfortunately taking a loss to Bo Turner, but his first appearance getting a win over Bree George. You gotta wonder what his mindset is heading into this match against a very angry Piper Salizer. And a very angry Salazar sister, or very angry Salazar in general, is not something you want to be on the receiving end of. I just hope that Mad Dog has what it takes to at least weather the storm. if he has any hopes of winning. Mad Dog waiting for his opponent, and here comes Piper Salizer, ladies and gentlemen. She's had some time to rest since the attack on Becca Bloor earlier this evening, so you gotta wonder. She may still have that rage, but physically she should be 100% after exerting some energy earlier on Becca Bloor. And now, my question is she 100% after the attack from Becca Bloor a couple weeks ago? It's been obvious that Samantha Salizer, as she admitted earlier, she was the one that took most of the beating from Becca Bloor. So we'll just have to wait and see what Piper Salizer is feeling tonight other than utter rage. Here we have Mad Dog, and then we have Piper Salizer. And there's a bell. And Piper already going in on it with a huge facebuster on Mad Dog here. And Mad Dog hitting a huge enziguri. I wonder who's going to get the upper hand in this match here. Mad Dog seeming to have the control at this point. And a huge attack on Piper Salizer there from Mad Dog. And Piper not happy about that. Piper, what's she looking for here? With the double axe handle to the back of the head of Mad Dog here. And Mad Dog just reversing Piper Salizer here. It's looking like both these competitors are looking to be a bit evenly matched as Mad Dog goes under and over and hit that big boot, but that moonsault found no one home. And Piper fighting her way out of Mad Dog's grip. And now they are locking up. Mad Dog pushing Piper to the ropes. The ref doing her job, breaking the two up. And the ref getting a bit in the way, and Piper taking advantage of that. And now Piper just shoving Mad Dog away. Was probably going for a drop kick, but Mad Dog had that scouted. What's Mad Dog looking for here? A huge elbow drop to Piper Salizer. And 1, 2, and Piper kicks out at 2 from that elbow drop. And Mad Dog talking crap, but Piper not having it. And Mad Dog now Irish whips to the ropes, ducking under, and that big boot once again, and Mad Dog taking control of the match, albeit maybe for a moment. And Piper rolling out to the outside of the ring here. A huge spear to the outside, as well as went for that body drop, but Piper moved out of the way and hit that senton. And Piper now with that huge crossbody splash to the outside of the ring to Mad Dog. What's Piper thinking here? And a stomp to the upper arm of Mad Dog there. And Piper now tossing Mad Dog back into the ring. And Piper just keeping the control of the match in her favor. What's Piper looking for here? And a huge double axe handle from the middle rope, calling Mad Dog up to his feet. What's she looking for here? And the two are going to look to go blow for blow here. Who's going to take advantage of this? Who's going to gain the control? And the two just wailing away on each other, not willing to give the other any sort of ground, but Mad Dog came out of that with the control, with the advantage. With that huge running knee to Piper Salizer. Ref into the cover. 1, 2, and Piper kicks out at 2. And Mad Dog went for something, but Piper caught the foot. But Mad Dog got an enziguri anyway, hitting that springboard moonsault from the ropes. Piper could be in trouble here. The ref, again, in the way. And Mad Dog with a huge side slam there. Now with the middle of the match workout, a mid-match workout. And once again, just ramming Piper to the outside of the ring. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it has been a hectic evening here tonight. Just to run through it, well, to try to run through it, because so much has happened tonight. To open, we had the War Machine KARNAGE take on Dakota Fall in a winning effort, and after the match, we heard from KARNAGE, and he was calling out Zeke Salizer for interrupting his victory just a couple weeks ago. Not only that, after that, Angelina Renee took on that huge driver from Piper Salizer, and Mad Dog kicks out at 2. But after that, we had Angelina Renee defeat Riku Matua to go on into the finals to compete for the actual FLW Women's World Championship here. And following that, we had our first intergender match, which was Piper Goodish debuting against Max Drayton. And while Piper Goodish did take home the victory, both her and Max Drayton after match were attacked by a returning Wade Ilson. Wade Ilson warned the FLW Universe and Locker Room last week that he was coming back, and he was coming back with a vengeance. Following that up, we had a debut in the form of Damian Cross taking on Zeke Salizer in his FLW in-ring debut. And Zeke Salizer wound up being the one to end up with the victory, and Damian Cross, unfortunately, ended up with the loss, even though he put on a great fight against Zeke Salizer. And then following that, we also had a confrontation between Alexis Danvers and Dakota Willer as Piper Salizer gets out of that Dragon Sleeper. But all that to also say, the action didn't stop there. We had Bo Turner taking on Kyle Young, and when it seemed like Bo Turner was going to take home the victory, it was Kyle Young who was able to pull it off because John Baker returned and cost Bo Turner the victory over Kyle Young, shooting his shot against Bo Turner. And in our co-main event, we had an all-star tag team match where it was the 4 competitors of next week's gauntlet match teaming up together, which was Jessica Harper and Megan Suzuki taking on Amber Young and Jackie Bryant. And unfortunately, Jackie Bryant and Amber Young were unable to get the victory, as it was Jessica Harper who took home the pin for her team using the treble driver. Which brings us to our match here right now, the main event, which is Piper Salizer taking the fight to Mad Dog Salmons. And Piper with that huge dropkick to the corner. And that huge running enziguri from Piper to Mad Dog. Mad Dog went for a spinning with the spinning kick, but Piper had it scouted. Now Piper, what's she looking for here? Huge dropkick from the middle rope. Calling Mad Dog up to his feet. And he went for that huge twisting cutter. Now Piper into the pin. 1, 2, and a kick out at 2. And now Piper with the running enziguri once again to Mad Dog. Mad Dog having to backpedal here a bit, but Mad Dog now going for the suplex, but Piper slipping out and going behind him. Piper on the middle rope, calling him up to his feet. And went for that huge drop kick, but Mad Dog not having it. Piper once again pulling the match back into her favor. Reversing into an Irish whip, going under, and hitting that big boot once again. And a huge cannonball from Mad Dog here, and Mad Dog hyping himself up. But Piper fighting her way out of the corner, up to the top rope. What's Piper doing here? This could cost her. She needs to. What's Piper looking for here? That with that Salizer Claymore. 1, 2, and Piper not able to get the complete 3 count just yet. Piper calling him up to his feet. What's she looking for? And that huge spinning cutter. Going for the pin here. 1, 2, and smart move from Mad Dog using his distance from the ropes to his advantage here. And Mad Dog could be taking advantage. And Mad Dog with a huge tombstone pile driver. 1, 2, and Piper able to kick out at 2. And Mad Dog not happy about that. Mad Dog, what's he thinking here? Mad Dog forcing her out of the ring. Went for a drop kick or a dive of some sort, but Piper had it scouted. What's Piper thinking here? Got it back into her control. Got the match back into her control. And a huge drop kick. 1, 2, 3, and Piper Salizer picks up the victory against the very game Mad Dog Salmons. Once again, Piper Salizer is your winner here, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us here in another epic episode of FLW.